Hey, what's up, guys? Cool. You should be able to hear me then. All right, let's get this music going a little bit and start flying. Yeah, I'm using Slip.stream for all of my live stream music right now. Pretty sweet service. It's like an AI playlist generator or whatever. It's pretty cool. A little bit quiet for you guys though. That should be good, right? About halfway up. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit in my ears though. Curious if it's like stuttering like that for you guys too. Like if that's the file or if it's or if it is the thing. If it's my headphones, my Bluetooth connection or whatever, or if it's the actual audio file. Not 100% sure. Just set up my rates before I get going. Just see how it feels. Definitely handles a little bit differently than when I was at Spec 7. Ooh. Did that wrong. I'm about to fix that. It's annoying the fuck out of me. It's like stuttering all over the place. It might actually be... Oh no, I pulled the thing out. Fucking Bluetooth thing is right there. I guess one test would be... We'll just switch to wired. Hopefully that fixes the stuttering. Gonna fix my audio though, it's louder. Something like that. That should be good. Okay. Cool. Yeah, it handles a little bit differently for sure. Doesn't have quite the same throw as the Spec 7, I guess. The way it hucks through a corner doesn't feel exactly the same. But should be alright. It's not that bad. It's just different. The problem is like, especially that first turn is very momentum dependent. Like, it's how you carry the momentum through that turn, and I'm already kind of used to how the Spec 7 handles through that turn. So it'll take a little bit of adapting to this new drone. Man. I'm also wondering if the arms aren't bigger on this one, because it seems like the places that I was hugging before, I can't quite hug as tight. I'm supposed to split that tree, not go the direction I did. That felt pretty good. Why did I just run straight into that fucking pillar? Yeah, I gotta split that difference. I gotta remember that. I'm gonna just go do it again. Let's just go up here and... Nope. Supposed to go right there. Just like that. You gotta really kind of go straight at that gate to get the right momentum for around that turn. Don't want to be pitching up so much on that. It really kind of sets me up weird for the next gate. You want to be pitching into it. Oh, come on now. Man, all these turns I'm not really quite getting right. I think I might go set it to just me. Oh, Empire's here. That's cool. Like big music, epic fight scene, trekking through the jungle type vibes right now. Not really the best, in my opinion, for drone racing, but you know what? The AI decided. I can't wait until we get like to the point where like I'll just have an AI stream manager or whatever, just like watching and deciding like on its own what it should be doing. It'll make things like this way easier to accomplish, like where you'll have an actual agent like monitoring. That's coming fast, I think. Man, that was mean the way I got through that turn. Definitely was not hitting that turn like that aggressively yesterday. I just raced myself. Let's go to track leaderboard, find Bernie. Oh man, I got bumped. I'm way down there. 22. What's the top times right now? Oh, filters. Let's go to categorize. I'm 9th out overall on the spec. So that's not too bad, but yeah, let's raise myself. To bring this down some more, I think it's a little bit too loud. There we go. Oh, what the fuck? A shit spec launch right there. Ah, I blipped early on my throttle. I should have blipped a little bit later. Oh. Okay, see how much farther behind I am now? It's all determined by that one turn. Yeah, that was ride or die moment, so I had to push on that turn or I was not going to catch myself. Because I nailed that turn on that run. No, it wasn't terrible, but not great either. Good. Stay too low. To get up higher on this one. Pre-turned a little bit too early on that one. Should have chilled out and just let it ride through the turn more than that aggressive turn that I did. Whew. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck! It's a whole different bag of skills for the big drones. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out compared to like the last couple races because of the just the one. Everyone's going to be closer because it's spec. Like the drones are just going to fly closer together. Fuck. Man, I should have blipped the throttle down. Would have helped. Oh well. Go. Yeah, there's no way I was gonna get that. Zero chance. I feel like my rates may have changed. Oh, fuck. Rip your ears. Sorry. It really does feel like, oh, maybe not. This is weird. Seems like it's more responsive now than it was, or something. Something just feels different than it felt when I first started racing it. A little bit twitchier, maybe, for some reason. I don't know if that's, well, I guess it is just a me thing, since the rates say they haven't changed. Fuck, dude. That was good. So to do it exactly like that every time. A little bit of a hang up there. Not too much, but definitely would put me behind in a real race. It's pitch that feels too aggressive. Man, I knew I had to go for it though, because like that run for me on the Spec 7 was damn near perfect. Like there were spots that I could improve, obviously, but like it's kind of at the limit of my skill. So like any edging out that I'm gonna get at this point is gonna be kind of grindy. Let's go. Barely improved, but it was enough of an improvement that oh no, it was actually almost a whole second. I just didn't move place because the next jump up is like all at the 97s. Yeah, I gotta get sub. Really, I gotta get sub 98. Sub 98 is the goal for moving up a place. If I want to move up a place, really, the main thing I was trying to do is just get my Super 70 in, because I think I'm still racing like all the same tiers that I was racing before. So like even though I'm sitting in the like upper portions of this like practice runs or whatever, my overall time or my overall like racing position is like way lower than where I'm competing on this spec. So I have no real doubt that I'll probably be walking away with like all the wins. I don't think there's anyone else that's in my brackets that's up here with me. I would have to go through some names probably. Let me just check the overall leaderboard real quick. I don't know where Free is, but I haven't been seeing his name. I don't know what group he's in. Just trying to find names that I've been racing against. I think QT, I think, has been in some for me. Or maybe not. Maybe I've just been watching him, actually. It's crazy to see this, like, how this all plays out. Like, all the 5-inch, like, only guys that don't really race, like, 7-inch at all. It's interesting how it plays out overall when they are forced to switch. Because it's a whole different set of skills. Like, it's not the same as... There obviously it's transferable. Like there's stuff that you can learn from one that applies to the other, but it's not like 100% because you have to. It makes you really have to think about your line. So you really have to pay attention to like, okay, how am I going to take this turn? How do I want to approach this? What's my exit going to look like if I do it this way versus that way? You have to think about like your thrust vector a lot and like how much. If there's places that you can eke out any bit of energy that you're possibly wasting with like braking or something, like if you were to try to do a split S. Like sometimes a split S, depending on the next move, might be better to flip the throttle a little bit into that turn versus like maintaining full throttle through the turn. And it just depends on kind of like where the next gate is positioned and how much momentum you need to carry through that turn and how that will be impacted by the thrust vector, if that makes sense. Or the direction of the thrust vector. The direction and amplitude of that thrust vector. All the things. It's a lot of different variables that come into play. But this is kind of like my element. I'm very skilled at 7-inch racing, like 7-inch heavy boy racing on the sim. I'm also pretty good at it in real life, but I just don't do it as often as 5-inch racing in real life. Yeah. Cool. Well, let's just run into some more, I guess. I don't know if I have to change my what's it called? I want to center this under here. Yeah, I like that. Looks better. Yeah, it looks okay. I'm not entirely sure like how I want to have this all set up at the end of the day. I just kind of, I don't know. I like being able to like look back with video evidence of like what I did practice wise, and like that helps me. One, I'm vocalizing, and that helps me process like what I'm doing. If I say it out loud, like if I try to run what I'm doing through like my words, not the word part of my brain, it makes me think it through more than I would otherwise. And I think sometimes just vocalizing what you're changing and why can like shake loose something in your head on how to approach a turn, and that matters a lot for a 7-inch, especially because of the like how technical the actual line can be. Whereas 5-inch is less about the line. The line still matters, don't get me wrong. Like you have to be on a certain amount of the line, but the way you carry momentum through turns doesn't matter nearly as much in 5-inch racing because you have all the power in the world to overcome like any of the obstacles that you could possibly be facing. Like whatever that thrust to weight ratio is on the 5-inch, it's ridiculous. Whereas on a 7-inch, like you got a lot of mass in the air. You got a very low thrust to weight ratio. You end up with like a completely different dynamic, and you have to like really think about it and be ready to compensate for that low thrust to weight, and then be able like to eke out performance even with low thrust to weight means tight turns when it matters, staying as close to the optimal line as you can, like in car racing, like in any other motorsport where you have to actually like really think about how you're going to approach those turns because you've got momentum to deal with. Whereas 5-inch drones, as long as you're like at the 70% throttle range the whole time, flipping up to 100% will stop you dead in the tracks, like within feet, as long as you're fast enough. So like you can eat a turn and you're not going to blow the turn way out. Whereas here, you might go like 15, 20 feet in the wrong direction if you like blow a turn out way really bad. Or hit something that's like way on the other side of the gate because it's lined up. Or you might end up in like cross traffic or something. That's all sorts of things you can end up doing just because the momentum carries you places. Oh yeah, music's off. That's one thing that's bad about this service versus like just playing on YouTube is that the playlists are longer, I think. Or yeah, the playlists are longer, but I think you can upgrade to a paid plan for this, and it will give you more time. Some trap beats. See how that sounds? Interesting. I've never heard a trap beat start with piano. I'm really curious where this is about to go. Really not into that piano that much. I don't think I was 100% on the throttle for that launch. Hopefully this next trap song is better, because I'm through with it. It's not good. This one's not as good. I'm just gonna switch to fucking the synthwave or something. Back. Wonder if it's because my oh, almost knocked you guys over again. Whoopsies. Get that shit away from that. Wonder if it's because my quad settings, if it's the expo. I don't know if that'll make it better or worse. A little better. I usually don't think I fly with Expo. I have to double check my quads. But I usually run for Spec 7, I'm usually running 533 for pitch and roll, and then 200 for yaw, which free even runs lower than 200. I might take it lower than that. I don't know. To me, though, I still want a little bit to be able to correct for it. Because like when you get yaw wrong and you're forced to just live with it, it's really distracting when you can't fix it really quick. And 200 to me is a more sweet spot for being able to fix it. Like fix the way your camera is appearing to look. That was almost pretty good. It's just like a couple microseconds too long held for the initial left-hand turn. Put me in the wrong position. There it is. That was nice and smooth. My throttle blip down was a little bit late. Yeah, I got some catching up to do then. See if I can reel it back in here. Yeah, a little bit. Just push or not get it, so. Probably still could have reeled him in even with that little bobble if I tried to catch it, but yeah, I know that run was pretty good. So it would have taken like the next one being better than I've ever done it. And a couple other spots on the track doing better than I've ever done it before. I really think I'm supposed to come up a little bit as you exit that. But it's like only for a little bit. Like you really should be coming back down, basically peaking on your upward velocity right after this second gate here. Because you almost want to, yeah, let's see. You come through here, you want to stay high, but I think you want to come up so you can do that. Like you come in, stay high, because you want to catch the quad like right on the other side. Yeah, like that. Let's try that again. Ah, see, I didn't quite line it up right. Woo! Boy, that's it. Tried to take it too sharp. That's on me. That's on me. Oh man, maybe I should share this to Facebook real quick because I did not. Where do I go to get the stream link? Always the part that I don't like about OBS. One, it's just I don't know how to use it, and I really need to sit down and like watch a video on how to use it all the way through. But I keep not doing that. Keep saying that I should and then don't do it. That's also on me. 100% definitely on me. Use it all. There's the link. Go share that in Facebook real quick. Not as smooth. Lost some momentum there. Ah, tried to make up for it in the old spiral down there. That has a cool string effect though on this song. My last second there didn't quite connect the way I wanted it to. Oof. Talk to Billy real quick. They didn't quite come up on that one. See that like downhill thing? I carry way more momentum coming down the hill that way. So I think that's definitely the way to do it. Let's go. 97.8. Put us above Mr. Chaws. So that was a two-person jump on that one. Pretty sick. Man, I think I might have a... the low 96s. Let's watch Skies run real quick. So we'll go to track leaderboard. Click on one view and view as Nemesis. Let's see what's going on here. See if we can spot any major differences in lines. The way he approaches that's different from me. It's a lot more head on, and then he kind of like clicks around it, which is interesting. Like, I'm always shooting to be smooth. I don't think that's the right way to do that. It sets you up poorly for the ring. I experimented with that too. Oh, that was just gnarly. Okay, that one's more like mine. He's also not quite as in that corner as I am, so maybe that's a little bit better. I really don't think that's faster, Sky. I feel like you're losing time. I mean, what do I know? I'm not first, so... But it really, to me, it seems like it sets you up poorly for the ring. I wish this was as convenient as DRL's like thing, where you can just like scrub through it really easy. There might be a way to do it. I don't really know. Oh, he's flying with the heavy metal. That might make a difference. I don't know. Let's watch G-Man's. He's in the 96s as well. Yeah, just a gnarly, just really gnarly set of turns there. Nothing different from what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Come on. See, this is where I wish... I'm gonna look this shit up. There's gotta be a way to do it. And there's nothing about Nemesis mode in their fucking getting started guide. That's how you turn on and off the UI. Oh, cool. I can throw up my controller overlay right there. Oh, interesting. So you can set F2 will show your line. That's sick. I didn't know that. F3 key, show flight path analysis slider. Oh. So I can now fly through the track with this on though and see kind of where we differed. That's kind of cool. Okay, so which one is, let's see, turn one of mine off. G-Man's green. Okay. So I think this approach is different. But he's staying higher than I am. Yeah, that having that yellow line right there is actually pretty freaking helpful. Because it gives me something to like visually reference as whether or not I'm doing it right. I wonder if I can run a race. Oh, I can. That's like cheating. Ah, okay, it's not cheating. It is for that section. The rest of the sections, not so much. Doesn't really matter. Maybe this one, just because it gives you a reference. There's certain parts in this track where you just don't really have a good visual reference to tell you what to do because they're blind turns. So to have like that yellow trail showing me, hey, this is what you should be doing. Oh, his yellow trail went away. Oh, the yellow trail is mine. Thank you, G-Man. I need to stay a little bit higher. Coming down the hill, I'm dipping too much. Yeah, it's almost like a little bit of an upward pitch. Like you pull back and to the right slightly for that space or for that part of the track because it ends up putting you you're climbing afterwards. So like you're gonna have to climb. So instead of just braking with like breaking all of your momentum and wasting it, it's better to apply it in a way that you're going to use in a second anyways. Does that make sense? So like you're going to use some of your speed here to climb in the turn. So you're climbing through the whole turn instead of doing one and then the next. Yeah. Because I'm wasting momentum otherwise. Momentum that could be used for the climb. Yep. Shit. That's such a good like on beat launch too. Makes me sad. I gotta shake the habits. Now that I've done a little bit of an analysis on this, I gotta shake the habit. Same thing as here. He climbs around the tree. Just using your momentum in a better way. Climb too much. Too much pre-turn. Should have pre-turned less. That was almost really good. It's pretty close to being a really good turn there. That's the other thing about 7-inch racing is like the difference between pretty good turn and fucked it up is like nothing. Oh, a good run up until that point. I wasn't even really trying to push. I knew I could just leave him in front of me and probably still get up another spot, but it's all good. Maybe if you like almost take it backwards, like don't actually turn around in that turn, maybe that would be better. I'm honestly not super sure. Getting pretty good at that little wiggle. At least like getting it right every time. Yesterday I was struggling to get it like nailed down every time. Or 2 days ago, not yesterday. There's a tree there. I don't know why I didn't avoid it. Gotta stay a little bit lower on the approach to that turn. Oh man, that's gonna cost me the fucking thing just because I hesitated. I'm still gonna finish it because I might still be sitting on a good time, but I think I lost it there. Yeah. That's a pretty cool song. I'm into that. A little bit of heavy boy freestyle. It's weird not having yaw on a freestyle quad. Like that's a full stick deflection on yaw. I will say it kind of makes trippy spinning a little bit easier, I think, because your yaw is like less sensitive, and I think more sensitive yaw makes trippy spinning a bit harder because you have to be a lot more finesse, and you're also kind of flipping the throttle up and down it a lot. And I have so much freaking experience with these heavy quads. It's wild to like that I can just kind of whip it around the way I can. Like I know why I can do it. And I know why it's as difficult as it is for everyone else. Because I've got like thousands of fucking hours purely on heavy quads. Mostly in sims, like in DRL sim and DCL. But like I have so many hours just on these fucking heavy ass quads. I was getting too cocky with those turns. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely really like how the Super 70 handles. I don't know if it's representative of how it actually handles in real life, but it feels pretty good in the sim. I know Rocker Guy was the first person I saw with one, I think, or that I knew well enough to like talk to him about it, and he was building it at IO last year. and he raced it in some of Shames's events during the summer. But yeah, he snapped arms on it like crazy because they made like a weak point, and the arm design came like it was super thick. It was like 10 mil thick or some bullshit like that. But then they made it super skinny this away, so it was only like 3 mil thick, which, like, yeah, obviously it's gonna snap there if you hit it right or wrong or whatever. But no, it's just interesting design choices when you don't really need to do it. Like, if you're gonna make your carbon super thick, why design in a weak point as well? Like, just make it as robust as possible, especially for Street League, because you've got all the weight in the world. Like, that's why I like the design of the heavy metal, because I think if you're gonna make a quad intentionally heavy, make it intentionally heavy in a way that is gonna make it durable, not in a way that's just like extra weight. Like, to me, with all that weight, a Street League quad should never break. Like, no component on a Street League quad should ever break. Everything should be fully protected, except for props. But like, even the motor bells should never be dinged, because like, they should be, first off, beefier motors, because you've got the weight again. So the motors themselves should be beefy. And they should also not what I'm trying to get at. The motor bells should not be exposed. There's no reason to have them exposed. That was almost really good. Also, almost really good. That was shite. I think I'm putting too much rotation after the spiral down. Like, I'm putting an extra like quarter turn or some shit in there. It doesn't need to be there. That's why G-Man keeps pulling away from me in that one spot. Need to come back up just a touch. I really wish I knew what felt weird about this fucking pitch stick right now. There's something that's different, and I'm not entirely sure what or why. It could be the quad. Like, maybe this quad's just like well balanced or something, and that makes it to where it doesn't have as much fight in the pitch axis, so it makes it feel more responsive or something. I don't know, mumbo jumbo science magic. Not sure though. I go over to Facebook. I was just suggesting that we do a write-up for the like all the different types of events that we're going to be doing over next season, because there's a lot, just for clarity for everybody, like especially with our chapter, because it's a lot of new guys, it's a lot of younger guys, or not younger, but younger in FPV, whereas a lot of other chapters I feel like are a bit more mature in the FPV scene, so they're aware of like what everything is. And if they aren't, they at least are. There are resources within their like a greater number of senior resources within their chapter that can get everyone up to speed. That doesn't like really hammer home on everybody, because basically every single event that me and Daniel are doing right now, somebody in the chapter is coming up to us for like in-depth help, which is fine. Like it's, I understand. It's just every event we need, like, it really adds to, or it makes it really difficult to run an event when you've got people constantly coming up to you, like trying to both chit chat and especially when they're asking for troubleshooting help. And I'm not the type of person that can like stop that. Like, if someone comes up to me and asks for help, I'm probably going to start helping you. And that's not, I can't do that. So I really need people to understand to just not ask the race director at all for that type of stuff. Like, if I'm wearing the race director hat, I should get hats. We should get hats. Why don't we have hats? That's a good idea. I should have my parents make some simple, like real basic BDR roll hats that we can. I got used to pitching up on all the other turns, so I did it. I just said to Daniel, because he said like he needs a just Google it shirt. I said, nah, you get a YouTube search bar shirt that says Joshua Bardway, and it shows the autocomplete. Man. Tried to push. There's no reason to push. we're discussing BDR stuff. I really wish he would just like hop on Discord or whatever. It makes it much fucking easier. I think it's lost the focus on my face. There we go. Got it. This fucking battery on my radio keeps dying. Yeah, we're just like talking about like how to better manage the racing, because next season is going to be intense. We've got some pretty big events with some pretty large scale like numbers of people coming, because Knoxville and Indy racers will both be coming south for Indy, north for Knoxville, to come to us for like some street league events and stuff like that. It's already like set in motion, like ready to go. So they're going to be big. Like it's going to be a lot of people to manage, a lot of new faces to interact with and stuff like that. And all of our races so far have kind of been pretty much a shit show for the majority of them. And that's like not necessarily by, I guess, growing pains. It's always like, okay, we're scrambling to get this one project done, so we will have this new thing for the race day. Oh, I fucked up because I didn't have time to test it beforehand or whatever. We're all trying to build like street league quads all at the same time, and like, oh, here's a street league event. Oh, everyone's still like working on them like night before. Oh, no one fucking tested anything. Oh shit, none of our quads work. Fuck. Street league's out the window. You know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of that shit. And that's like new quad or new chapter growing pains, like growing pains and like learning how to be a race director, like how to be a track bitch, like how to do all of those things efficiently and manage new people at the same time. Like, it's a skill that we've been learning it, like a new skill we've all been learning. So I think we did a pretty good job. Wasn't the best for sure. Like there definitely have been significantly better race directors, and a lot of that was me not knowing, like not fully defining all the roles in the chapter to other people and like showing where they could help, which was partly because I just didn't know. Like I didn't know where they could help, and I didn't know how to ask for that help. But we got a lot of people now stepping up to the plate that want to participate, want to take on some responsibilities within the chapter, like take the load off of us and make it easier for us to like do all that stuff. So we're disseminating, and that's cool. It's a big first step in making sure this chapter is like a stable thing that will exist for a long time. Like you have to be able to disseminate and give marching orders and stuff like that, like rally the troops, get people together, fundraise, all that sort of stuff. Like that's all normal like club stuff that has to happen. That I personally, I was never in any like major clubs, and I was definitely not in any leadership positions within clubs before. So like for me, it's all brand new. Like, I can only look at like how Shames runs his stuff and be like, okay, I want to emulate that. I want to copy these specific things that Shames does, and here's how I think I can make them better from what I've seen. And mostly that was like from a technical aspect, like things that I want to have capabilities of, because I think they're important for the growth of the chapter, like streaming and putting together boxes. And like within the skills that I have, like I'm pretty good at like designing and manufacturing stuff. Like I can just do that with the tools that I've got available to me. So like between the laser and the 3D printers and like just like general electronic skills, all that stuff, like I've my computer skills, like all that stuff comes into play when you're talking about putting on stuff like this. Especially when it comes to doing it efficiently. So, and I think I'm almost at the point now where I can, as far as like technical projects that I would need to do for the chapter, I think I'm basically done with them. Like I need to do something to put this screen into this fucking case, which I should probably work on. I've been putting it off. Yeah. I'm just kind of reiterating what I said to the camera here, to Daniel, because he's not in this conversation. I'm kind of like talking to the camera as if you're Daniel, which is helping me like think my way through it. So it's kind of useful. But man, it got off my face again. Look at my face. There it is. It's like as soon as my face gets off center of the camera, it's like, oh, we should be. It says autofocus is off. It's odd. It's totally not. I cannot tell if that's in focus or not. It's irritating. There we go. All right, that's in focus now. So that's cool. Let's just pull up the I'll just do some work in Fusion instead of continuing to fly. I already set some good times tonight. I think that's good for now. And I've got work to do. That should get work done. So I'll pull up Fusion and we'll include that in this little stream, a little bit of Fusion work just for funsies. And because I have stuff I need to design. I'm gonna have to log in though, probably. Yep, because I'm logged in on my Mac. Oh, forgot about the thing. There we go. Go to product. Yes. It's fine. Sign me out. I hope that thing saved. I would kind of like to work on that a little bit too. Assuming I get this design done quickly. I don't think it should take me too long. It's fairly straightforward. This might be a little bit tedious. This is close. Okay. Let's see. File, open. What do we have available? No, that project must be purely on my Mac. Okay, well, that's fine. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. And then let's grab OBS and make a new scene real quick. We'll just call this Fusion 360 for when I want to do stuff in there. Just go back to me for a second. Can I just, yeah, duplicate main. Fusion 360, yes. And then we'll add in window capture. Cool. All right. Can you see the document settings and shit like that? No, you can't. Huh. That's a problem. Go to studio mode for a second so you guys don't see any I don't want you to see. And we'll go back to just me. Transition. And then for main 2, we're going to add in a, instead of Fusion, I want to add in display capture, because I've heard that if you do it via the whole display instead of purely on a window, that you can capture yeah, it's visible when you do it that way. Okay. I will have to shrink the, oh shit. Shift, I think. Nope. Alt. Yeah, Alt. There we go. Now you can see the cursor. You can see, yeah, you can see what's going on. Cool. All right. I guess for this too, we should crop it in a little bit. What is it? Say Alt. Yeah, that's good. And I'm working on, let's see, let's pull up a browser. Pull it up on the other one real quick. Let's see. Okay, so I need to go to I need to look at what the that is. E141 EWO. E141 EWO4. I think I saved it, maybe. I can't remember for sure. But I possibly saved it into my downloads folder. If I did, that would be super cool. Oh, sweet, I did. Open this PDF real quick. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I need. Critical dimensions. The outline dimensions of our object here, which is the display, including hole spacing. Okay, so I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to grab all these critical dimensions for my rectangle. So let's create a sketch. No, I want to go to the front. Nope. There we go, front. Boom. And we're going to create a center rectangle. Okay, of which the dimensions are 319.5 by looks like 70. Oh, no, that's the length of a cable. 205.5. Cool. There's our rectangle. And that should be the outer bevel, right? So 205.5 plus or minus 0.5 is the outline. 319.5 plus or minus 0.5 is the outline. And then the next dimension is the bezel opening, and then active area are the three critical dimensions that it's giving me for this. So yeah, I would assume I don't really need that dimension because it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Yeah, I should be fine. Okay, let's just extrude this profile. And that dimension is... You know, I'm not 100% sure. I wish there was a table. A table would be real nice. Like dimensions table. They even give you the dimensions of the shipping label. That's crazy. Guess I can slide this over here so you can see what I'm even doing. This is what I'm looking at. Just kind of scrolling through this PDF, trying to find if there was another instance of like where the dimensions were listed. Like a table, preferably, so I can see physical size 320 by 206 by 5.5. So the width, height, thickness. So 5.5 mil. Okay. And then now we can get over to a side. Start dimensioning this shit. This one I'm gonna need this drawing again. Real quick, is there a difference? 3.1 plus minus 0.3, 168, 108, 61 and a half. No, they're exactly the same. Yeah. And it is 3.1. The center. M2, 8x threaded holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. There's 8 M2 threaded holes. And starting from the top, they are spaced 18.15 from the top. So let's create a, we'll just sketch it first onto that surface. So let's do a circle. An M2 threaded hole should be 2 millimeters, I think. But let's see. Okay, so that should be 18.15. Yep, hole center to the top. And then it should be from the front to the center should be 3.1. Ooh, almost got it perfect. It just seems like it's off though. Like, I mean, the drawing may not be exactly to scale, so maybe that's why, but I guess it is a bigger distance there. Okay, and then let's see. So then everything else comes off of that hole. So the next one is 61.5 down. So we'll just create a rectangular pattern in this direction. Are they evenly spaced? No. Never mind. Never mind. Just cancel that for a second. We'll just I'll just make another circle. And the next one's 108.5. And then it's 168.6. Oh wait, shit. Yeah, last one, 168.6. And grab this center point. What I say, 168.6. 168.6. Okay, so those are all those dimensions. Does that look? Oh, why does that one oh shit. Let's just dummy check real quick on M2. I'm like 99% sure. What are the dimensions of a M2 threaded hole? Drill size for tapping standard metric threads is 1.6. The clearance hole is 2.4. So to clear an M2 threaded bolt or screw, you would need 2.4 to allow it to clear. And this will be holding that, so it should be at least 2.4, but since we're 3D printing it, I should account for that and oversize the holes a little bit. So let's go in and edit these a little bit. We'll just make it 2.6. I was copying that 3.1 from the front face dimension, and I was applying it to the circle, so it wasn't supposed to be. Okay, there we go. The way I'm kind of picturing this is to do these as pegs on either side, and then create a cylinder, or not a cylinder, to create a rectangle that encompasses the whole thing, and then remove the material from that to create a case. And then I'll just chop off the ends, so I'll end up with two hollow sides, and then I'll be able to just click it on with some extra clearance or whatever. I'll oversize it. Or offset, do an offset face at the end for 0.2 or something like that, just to account for 3D printing slop. And that should give me a nice press fit onto the screen without any wiggle. And as long as these dimensions are accurate, then it should line up correctly with the holes. And then I'm thinking like a strip on the back that will mount it to the case itself. I should probably do a I should get the calipers out, measure what the depth is from the back of the case to make sure it clears over the HD0 thing. Yep, be right back. I'm not entirely sure where my calipers are. I didn't realize how loud that fucking thing is. How many loud things in this room? Calipers. That's what I'm looking for, is calipers. This is one of those tools that I'm constantly misplacing because I touch them so often. I don't know if you can tell, but I don't know where anything lives in this room. And the lack of places, like designated places, fucks with my head. I don't ever have time to like optimize that, and I'm planning on selling this fucking house, so I really don't even want to. I'll probably put it in a drawer. I want to put the case in a drawer, but not the fucking. Also possible that they wandered upstairs, but it's less likely because I have a pair of upstairs calipers. The reason I ended up with an upstairs calipers is because I lost the calipers at one point and bought some new ones. Where is it? Too many graduates, not enough time. Aha. The dimension that I care about here, I don't know if you guys can even. There's not a whole lot of point in really showing you guys, I guess, too much. So we're not going to see the measurement anyways, but the dimension I'm talking about is like this dimension, like this one, where it comes out. Because I want to have the screen sitting like here, so I need it to come up above it. I don't have a great way of measuring depth. Not when it needs to be flush. This has to be a known dimension. Say on it somewhere. Let's just Google it real quick. What is the dimension from the depth gauge jaw to the top of the calipers for Husky Digital? Oh. Because there's no way it's not a known dimension. Like, they probably manufactured it to a very specific spec. So, like, you could do a depth reading this way, but I don't know what it is. They're all dumb questions, not what I want. Man, that blows. Not seeing it like right off real quick. Actually, so from here at 0, I know that this lower jaw is at the top. So by the time it reaches flush. Bad jaw, 7.5. That should be it. Because this is. Oh, I turned autofocus off. Work? Why are you not working? But yeah, this dimension is 7.5. Should be about. Okay, so now I can measure depth just by subtracting 7.5. This is 31. So let's say 35 to be safe. 35 to be safe. Yeah, I think 35 should work. It would be a better. Just a little bit more clearance off of the thing, because I'm really, the stuff that I'm trying to avoid is like ever breaking the screen. Which to me is going to be like a couple different things in this design. Is like one, having a big wide contact patch that's touching a lot of the display along the bezels. That way you don't have concentrations of stress along the bezel, which could cause like a pinch or a twist, and that will just instantly shatter it. The other thing that I'm concerned about is like if it ever gets dropped or whatever, I don't want to have the issue of having the like display falling out because it flexed a lot, so it should be stiff, right? So I'm going to use the carbon fiber nylon for these prints, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to use. Can I close the... Oh no, there it is. It's in an Edge browser, not Chrome. I don't think there's any other dimensions off of this I need. Well, I guess I will when I cut the pieces, because I want contact patch, like I said, into the bezel, but not the active area. So I'll need to... Actually, I might as well just draw that. Might as well go ahead and draw the... Yeah. Go to the bezel opening. So we'll draw a rectangle that is 307 wide by bezel 193.1. So back to the front. Center rectangle. Oh shit. I'm gonna finish this sketch actually. There we go. Create a new sketch. Create. I really wish the center rectangle was the default. Forgot the numbers. What did I say? 193.1 tall. $193.1 by width is 307. Oh, okay, bezels. That's what that sketch is. And then I don't know if there's a... I think you can just... I centered the whole thing, so I think I can just grab this sketch and then hit create mirror on the plane and then do that one. Oh, objects. I want to select all of this sketch. Turn off bodies. Those. Oh, features. Interesting. I guess you have to do it in a sketch view, maybe? Or I could extrude them. Yeah, I'll just extrude them. I'll just extrude them out. What, I would say 4 mil. And then we'll have them be new bodies at first. So I can hit OK, and then we can grab all 4 of those bodies that were just made, and then we can hit create a mirror, and we have our 4 bodies. We can select our mirror plane to be the plane. And that should give us 4 identical pegs on the other side. Same positioning? Question mark? I think that's right. Sure is. And then we can extrude this out. 4 mil as well. Sweet. Now we're making a negative of our display and screw holes. So this is the bezel, the edge of the bezel. And then now I should draw a rectangle. Actually, here's what we do. We click this, we construct, make an offset plane, and we put it 1, or doesn't really matter, I guess, 0.5 mil. Oh, not off. I want to go the other way. Yeah, construct. I'm going to go negative 0.5 mil. It'd be slightly inset to the surface. Then I can click on it. Hit front, hit create a sketch, and we're going to create a center point rectangle again. And we're going to make it just big enough to encompass. Or actually, I guess I want it to be about 2 mil thick, probably all the way around. So I should just do the math on that. Can't see my dimensions right now. I'll just pull them up again. So it's 205.5 tall. So 7.5 tall. And 319.5, so 321.5. So that gives me a lovely rectangle to start working with. And what, intersect it? I think that's the move, right? Intersect will give me only the pieces that are present in both, so it's the opposite of what I want. I want to create a new body and hit OK. Then I want to grab that body and I want to combine it with all of these bodies. These are my tool bodies. I'll keep the tools. I want to cut it. Okay. And then I want to select all of these, set their visibility to off, and boom, we have our piece. Be a case for holding on to the display. All the critical dimensions properly laid out, proper thickness. Cool. So then I guess the next thing that I would do is cut the total panel piece in or not in half, but basically just sketch on the surface. So I want to get rid of basically this corner. So just go straight across. Oh, wait, let's do it like this. Go across, draw our point. Sure, that works. Or no, here's how we do this. We go cancel. Select body 10, finish sketch. Select body 10, and we go to modify. And then we go to split body. And then our splitting tool is going to be that line. Boom. And turn off body 10. And that is our little piece for mounting the thing. And that's all we were really after here. I am going to make it thicker. This 2 mil obviously is looking really thin in those corners. So let's just add another 2 mil. Yeah, 4 mil. Should have done that in the first place. Could have done it in the other spot too, but that's okay. Okay, and the holes are supposed to be closer to the back than the front. For sure. I'm gonna offset this too before I forget. Just give myself a little bit of clearance. That's all. Offset face. We're gonna give it. I think I said 0.2. 0.2 should be fine. I think. My printer's usually pretty good on its tolerance tests. 0.2 is kind of a snug fit for my printer. But that should be, because it's not two sides printing that are interfacing. It's the, should be perfectly toleranced manufactured part compared to my printed part. And usually when I'm doing print interfaces, like I'm concerned about having to double up all of my offsets. And either taking all the offset off on one side and leaving it like perfectly tolerant, like zero tolerance on the other part. I sometimes do it that way. Sometimes I just split the difference and put a 0.2 offset on everything, and that kind of eases up the tolerance. But here, since I'm only printing one of the two objects, to get a nice snug fit, I think taking off 0.2 for the entire thing would be beneficial. Okay, and I already made those as clearance holes, as 2.6. I already added that 0.2 in. Okay, what's next? The mounting piece. Shit, I forgot the dimension. That's at 35. 35 mil raised up off the back. So this is the front of the display. So we want to flip around to the back. And this spot right here. And I'm going to be printing this flat, I think. So how do I want to draw this? I guess I'll draw it on this side, with this being the back. Right? Yes. Okay. This side's the back. Let's draw a construction plane on there at 0. And we're just going to draw lines on the construction plane. Oh wait, no, not there. Draw a line from annoying. Give me that point. It just let me do it a second ago. It's weird. Finish sketch. Delete the sketch. Create a new sketch. I don't need an offset plane. I can just do it straight on here. So we're going to go here, and we're going to go, first off, 35 mil to the back. And then I want this to be pretty thick, because I want it to be nice and rigid. So we're going to actually make it 10 mil, I think. And then come back over. And then we'll do the same thing, come all the way, or yeah, it's fine. By the way, if you hold shift and go to the line, or to the point that you're trying to align to, it will give you that nice little like dotted line drawing. It's pretty sweet, if you didn't know. Okay, and then we will draw a line. It doesn't really matter. I'll just draw it wherever, connect it wherever, and then I'll dimension it here. That should be 10 mil. And then we'll do the same thing all the way across. And same dimension. Almost perfect. Yeah. Cool. And then at that point we can finish the sketch. Grab that. Go to our back. Through that shit. Oh, I guess it was negative 7.5. Yeah. Cool. Oh wait, nope. Guess I had a little bit of extra. do I want to do it? We'll just edit the feature. Edit feature. Instead of -7.5, it should be some amount less than that. It should be 7.45 maybe? Nope. 7.4. 7.2. 5. There we go. 7.25. Okay. And that's what this looks like on the right. The front screen will come across. Should fit right in that hole. Maybe I add in a cross member or a middle support. No, this should definitely, not the right wall, this one. This should definitely come out another 2 mil too. Just for that extra thickness, I'm gonna put like a good infill pattern in there. So I edit this sketch maybe. That's not what I want either. I don't remember how to do this. I forgot. Blocks the size and location of a point or object. I don't want to do that. Constrains 2 or more objects so that they share a common line. And somewhere in here there is a way to set it to match centers, but I don't remember. Has to do with constraints, but I don't remember what it is. So there's a way to center it though, but I can't remember. You know what? Let's ask ChatGPT. Maybe it knows. That's what's cool about the like. The app, like being able to just like have a conversation. You know what I mean? I really think that'll be like the way things are done in the future. It'll just be having conversations with your computer. Probably won't even be touching like 3D modeling. I'll just be like, have a conversation with the Fusion 360 bot and like, hey, make this, and it'll just make it. That's what I'm looking forward to. Make everybody basically equal. Like it'll just be, do you have a computer? Your computer will do it. Just ask it. And it'll get easier and easier. Less and less time consuming to get things done like that. But let's do this conversation. So I'm in Fusion 360 and I'm trying to align a rectangle that I've drawn in the sketch mode with another rectangle center line. How can I do that?
In Fusion 360, aligning a rectangle in sketch mode with another rectangle's center line involves a few steps. Here's a simplified process. 1. Open sketch mode. Make sure you're in the sketch mode where your rectangles are. 2. Use constraints. Fusion 360 offers various constraints to align sketches.
Oh, duh.
For your case, you might use coincident, concentric, or midpoint constraints. 3. Select midpoint constraint. To align with the center, the midpoint constraint is likely what you need. 4. Apply the constraint. Click on a corner point or a midpoint of your rectangle's edge, then click on the center line of the other rectangle. Fusion 360 should align these points. 5. Adjust as needed. Sometimes, after applying constraints, you may need to move or adjust your sketch slightly to get the perfect alignment. If you're new to using constraints, it can take a bit of practice to get used to how they manipulate your sketch.
Hey, I got it. Thanks.
Is there a specific part of this process you'd like more detail on?
Nope. Figured it out. Should just use my brain. It's fine. Should be 7.25. Join. That should be okay, I think. Probably. I mean, it's not like my favorite way to design stuff, but I think it'll be fine. Like cross members and triangles and stuff is definitely the right way to do it. Like I would be a little bit concerned that this might have like unintentional stresses put on the like on the screen. Because like an impact on the back, while yes, it's spread over this entire thing, could still send enough force up the middle. Yeah, it could, but you know, maybe I'll regret this later, and I'll be able to look back on the stream and say, yeah, he pointed it out, and then ignored it. Then I'll be really frustrated that I didn't listen to myself. But I just kind of want to get it done, you know? And I don't want to spend too much time thinking about it. Nice. That will help a little bit with having pressure points in there. That's gonna get glued to the back, or well, stuck on with tape. Not necessarily glued. I think I print one now and just see. I'm gonna take these corners out. Two, three, not 23. 3, 4, 5. And we'll go 2. 2 feels right. I'm going to leave that flat because I want it to be a straight line all the way up. Next big question is, do I just go ahead and do it out of CF nylon, or do I wait? It's been a little while since I've done the nylons. I'll probably have to dry it. These are clearance holes. How wide is the head of the M2 material? .7577, and I think I made those holes 2.6, so these caps will definitely not pass through the plastic. The actual threaded part of the bolt is only 1.93. They probably would fit through even without 2.6. I could probably make them a little bit smaller if I wanted, but a little bit of wiggle room would be okay. I might also add in some of these little, I've got some like little plastic washers. I might put some on the outside just to help. Ooh, I might actually just use O-rings. I've got some M2 O-rings in there. That'll give it a little bit of dampening. I don't know if it'll help, but it's worth doing. I've got them. I'm not going to use them or anything else. So the other thing that I like to do is the back side of my prints for these, like the part that is going to be printed face down when I'm ready to actually the edges that touch the build plate. That's what I'm trying to say. The edges that touch the build plate will naturally have a little bit more squish than the rest of it, just because the nozzle has to become a little bit closer than it does for the rest of the print to the bed in order to actually get it to adhere well to the bed. So you end up with what's called elephant's foot for the first couple layers. That needs to be accounted for in your design a little bit. It's not a lot, it doesn't take that much. Like usually like 0.2 all the way around is plenty. And that just gives you a little bit, just gives your printer, it takes a little bit off of the print right there on the corner. So when it goes to print it out, that initial squish squishes it out to where it should be. And you're accounting for that in your design at the beginning. I think I got that from like Teaching Tech or something like that, one of the 3D print channels. But super cool tip. Use it all the time. Is there anything else I need to do to this before I print it? I could make some notches or something. I guess that's a question. Do I want this to be movable once I put it down? Because if the answer to that question is yes, then I need to design in a way to get the actual thing out. Because right now it's kind of like stick it in there and never pull it out again. Which might be a problem if anything ever happens to the H2 thing in the back. My game might turn into having to carefully try not to destroy the screen to get to it. That would be a mistake, so. That's a challenge, huh? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to approach this one. So I want to... If I want to have this done in a way... Because originally, my original idea was to use the actual original hinges off of the laptop, but flip them, so it would be able to just pivot down. But then I decided that was going to be... It's going to... Like, I didn't know the dimensions of the hole spacing or any of that. I didn't have the dimensions to, like, any of the parts that I would need, and they were just... Like, they aren't in clear linear positions to each other. Like, they were haphazardly positioned. And that just doesn't work well for, like, quick design. And, like, I could just iterate and do a bunch of passes, but I didn't want to print that much. I wanted to get something quick, and this is the faster way to get this done. But if I want the thing to hinge, I'm just trying to picture in my head how I could achieve this. Like, with what? If there's another material that I could use from inside this room that I could cut to size. It's like a cross piece that would go that would span like this full width or whatever. Like across here. You know what I mean? Because if I do that, then I could do... I could do something... Like, imagine I used a rod, right? If I put a rod all the way across that, then I would have a nice spot that I could grab that would be putting force not on the screen directly, but on the two prints. That would give me a nice handle to grab to manipulate, so I'm not ever putting twist, like preferably something really stiff that I could actually rigidly mount to it. But that would give me a grabbing point, and then I'm imagining some type of pivot on the bottom, and then probably just, instead of mounting it with the instead of mounting it with like the 3M VHP tape, using like some Velcro pad or whatever. Oh man, this stuff comes off that pocket so easy. Big Velcro pad, and then I could have it stuck like on just small strips, and then yeah, so like a fixed pivot. Yeah. Okay. So if the whole thing's on a pivot, like I'll have to redimension this hole basically, and then put it, basically make this slot different, make a hole here. A hole that is the same size as something that it could pivot on. The other goal for this project was to not penetrate the exterior shell of the case, so it would remain like fully waterproof. That was like my main design consideration when I started this, was that I do not want to drill holes in it. I didn't care if I had to glue stuff in or however like things got fixed inside the case, but the main thing was just don't let water in. I want to be able to, like, because for anyone that was at that like big like freak thunderstorm that we got that one time, I don't want to ever have to worry about my equipment getting fucked out of the field. And right now, as it's set up, like I run the timer over power over Ethernet. I run, eventually the timer will be managed fully in this case along with all of the stream. And if it's all set up like that, then I won't have to worry about it because it's waterproof. So it'll be unplug the timer from the PoE switch, close the case, and I can walk away, because all of my all of the equipment needed to run the race. Yeah, it might get wet, but it won't die. It'll just be a matter of like, if I need to go collect it and I have time to go collect it, I can. But if it's like a freak thunderstorm that hits us all of a sudden that we weren't prepared for, just because we weren't paying attention, then I can unplug and be done. And even if it gets soaking wet, doesn't matter. I'll just have to dry it out before I try to turn it back on. So that's the design consideration that I've got in mind when I'm doing this, and that's the reasoning behind it. It might be a little bit overkill. Maybe like I could have designed it in a way that like I could have done some penetrations and it would have been okay, but I decided against it. So, and it really wasn't that hard to do, like with that design consideration in mind. So where was I at? What was I doing? I was trying to come up with a pivot, some type of hinge system. I think just a pole of some type, like a rod. I've got a few different options up there. I've got like a wooden dowel. Spinning chairs are not made for this would work. It's like a piece of steel tube from a tent. It's very rigid. It's not going to do anything. I have enough. Not quite straight, but I can probably fix that. Not too much effort. I have enough to cover the whole length of the screen. I sure do. Okay. All right. I think this is going to be both the pivot that's sitting. So I'll have to design a bracket of some type. To hold this in place. And then the nylon will slip on this all day, and it doesn't, like, the nylon on its own is already like kind of self-lubricating. It wants to really easily it's in the bend. I think it's all just down there on that end though. Can you tell? Here. Put it. Hard to tell. But definitely bent. Probably not too bent. I guess I can just put it on the floor. I think it's all on just that one end and like the last little bit. So, and I think this right here is enough for 2 screens about. So that bend starts like the most like down here. So I think we're good. I think we are good. I need to measure this. I bet it's a very nice round millimeter number. Oh, it's not. That's surprising. No, it is. It's just not quite round all the way. It's a little bit oblong. Probably smashed a little bit. But what's the biggest dimension? That's what matters here. So 14.75. Like 5/6 of the 2 dimensions. I'll probably just make it 14.75 circle. It's a hollow tube. I'm just trying to think of different ways that I can attach it. And just go ahead and dimension this real quick so I have it. $14.75. I'm thinking like there, right? No, probably move and copy. Oh, what? Oh, not in sketch mode. Let's go to edit sketch. Where to go? Move, create a copy, put another one up there. Or I want it to be above it for this one. And above it, and yeah, a little bit past, above, then all the way across, so you have a grip point. Yep. Okay, and then we'll just grab that. And that, and we will just extrude those some bitches all the way across. I want to horizontally center this. Align bodies to... Show me the origin. There. Ooh, that's not what I want. That's not what I mean at all. No. Okay. I want to... Pretty sure it's the alignment tool. I'm pretty sure that's right. From to. That's not what I want. I want to... Fuck. Which one is it? And this is why an AI that knows how to use Autodesk or Fusion 360 would be extremely useful. So I could just be like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do it. Now do it. Like if this was the same experience, except for I wasn't fucking touching a keyboard and mouse, like I was just talking to my computer and saying, align that cylinder that we just made to the center of the x-axis or whatever, like center it on the x-axis. And it just did it. Or if I said center it across that, and I said and add like 2 millimeters of overhang on either side. Like if I could just talk and Fusion would do all of its work, the self-operating computer, man. Useful. Incredibly useful. So the thing about this is I'm going to need a way to attach it once it's all the way across too. I need a way to grip it. Some ways to do that would maybe be like grub screws. I could do multiple around the cylinder. Or I could drill a hole all the way through, which it's already got one on this side. I'm gonna just use that hole. Just drill more of these holes on either side. Or maybe just cut that off and do it myself since that one's a little bit pinched. But either way, drill a hole through hole in this on either end. And then attach it with a through bolt, like a I guess an M3. So I think I've still got some like stupid long M3s from forever ago, and like I didn't know for sure how long those are talking about. But basically just go all the way through this and the print, and then give me a capture nut on the other side to bolt into. And that'll keep that locked in place pretty good, I think. So I guess might have to take a break. Not really. It's 10:30. I'm starting to get medications wearing off and shit. Starting to get scatterbrained. Also got to pee and sweat outside. Yeah, I would really like to have this done though. Am I overcomplicating this? Is there an easier way to do this? Now, what if I just put instead of having a pivot at all, just put the whole thing on Velcro? How wide are these Velcros fit? There was something I should have checked. Ah, shit. They are about 20 millimeters across. That means this dimension's not fucking big enough. It's only 7 mil. I can just loft it. I take this, modify, right? Is it loft? Creates a transitional shape between two or more sketch profiles or planar. Or if I grab this face and this face and do draft, is that the right? Maybe it's this face. I've just been playing with these features recently. And the best way for me to learn most times is just to fuck around with it. Okay, so I think I need to grab the other face. Or no. I can grab this face, modify, draft, flip the direction, and then grab the face and then do this. No. Okay, so this is the opposite. It's grab this face, modify, draft, grab this face. Or no. Shit. Full direction, this one, faces, this one, rotate. Degrees. I don't really care about that so much as this dimension being at least 20 mil. Yeah, that's good. 23. Perfect. That gives me a nice flat contact patch. I still don't think it's a terrible idea to have these cross members. But I think they should both be outside. I think I'm gonna go ahead and mirror this over too. And then turn that on so we can see what it looks like with the screen in it. That shows me what the screen looks like with the bezels all the way inserted. And then if it's on Velcro, I can just grab it. I'm just trying to think of like any of the ways that I could be doing this stupid or overcomplicating it. But I think that's right. I think we're good. And delete. Delete that one. We'll just hide it. It's fine. Hide it, and then we'll just duplicate this one. I know I'm not doing it the most efficient way. That's about the same. I don't really care if it's exact. I almost kind of want it to be out in front a little bit. I'm just also trying to like picture all of this because this side, like this side facing us here is what's going to be printed down, as well as this side here, which I mean, they're going to be identical when I'm all done, but I'm just trying to visualize it better. Because I could just extrude up from those triangles on top and then make like an arched dome piece, put a hole through. Ooh. I wouldn't be able to get to that. Capture nut on the other side. I could go from the front. So from this angle, I guess, and then make the arch over it, like front to back, and then put a hole straight through that way. And that way I can still get to the hole when I'm assembling the thing. Taking that out later would be a pain. But I shouldn't have to. And if I needed to disassemble it later, I could peel it off of the Velcro. That's the thing with the Velcro, though, that like I'm hesitant to do, is that it's not as permanent of a fixture as using the VHB. VHB is like, all right, it's on there. Like, it's not really gonna come off. You can get it off if you really try, but VHB is kind of there forever once it's on. And I like the security of that. Yeah, I like the security of having that as like a failsafe, basically. Or not really a failsafe, but like just more rigid, more permanent affixing that way, because the screen is like, it needs to stay good, because I don't have another one of these screens. I bought a controller that's specific for that screen. I pulled it out of an old laptop just because I had it and it was free. So like me getting another one of these LCDs is basically zero shot. Like I'm not going to get another one. And if I can't get another LCD, if it breaks, then I have to get a whole new controller. I mean, that controller might be compatible with other screens. I don't know. But I know for sure that when I bought it, I had to buy it specific. So like I had to look up the model number to match it to this this specific LCD panel. So I think it's very specific, and I would have to actually like get a whole new thing if I did it, like if it breaks. So I would like it to just not break. That would be preferable. I mean, I can always stick some foam in front too. Like when it closes up, like put foam, some like eggshell foam down inside there with it, so I can actually like, when it's in transport, there's foam in front of the screen. The screen is set up in a way that it's off of the HD0. The only points of contact to the actual screen are through this plastic that will hopefully be soft mounted with like O-rings, and then the poles will add extra rigidity to the whole thing and hopefully transmit some more of that energy away from the actual display. I don't know if that is true or that's just wishful thinking. But I mean, if the poles are a little bit up to where they, like, if it fell off, one, they're going to be screwed to the screen. The side panels, these things on the side. And then this will provide rigidity to the two without letting the display itself flex. Like, so this needs to be like zero, it needs to be like press fit. Like no tolerance. To make it as rigid as possible. I don't know. I have to think about it, I guess. I'm not going to get this done tonight. Definitely going to have to ponder on it for a little bit. I think it looks like a good design, though. I think it works pretty well. It will 3D print easily. It will mount pretty easily. If this idea works, it will be nice and rigid. That's the main thing, is like if I go to pull it off, like if I don't put a pivot in and I go to pull it off, I cannot let it flex. It cannot twist. And if there's nothing preventing the two pieces from flexing, there's no way I want to be able to pry it off of Velcro, but this is pretty good Velcro, without causing some degree of twist. I may not break it the first time, but a handful of times down the road, like I'm not expecting to have to pull it off frequently. But I might actually have to, because there's buttons on there that I have to press. Maybe there's like maybe there's a USB controller. I'll check. HD0 event VRX manual. Just see what it says. Probably need to update it too. I didn't think about that. I haven't been keeping up with the HD0 updates because I don't really run the stuff. I haven't really started running it yet. I think there is a new one. You don't really need to read or maybe actually firmware updates via USB. D0 on when it is connected to a PC with a USB cable. No HD0/analog detected for D1 to 4 off. Okay. On, it's locked on HD0. Analog is locked for blinking. Power LED is D5. I might have to message Ryan and see if there's a way to, like, if there's an API or something that you can access over the USB. Like, is there not an API, well, an API, but like a driver. Is there like a Windows driver for control over USB? Because if there is, then I don't have to have access to those buttons. I mean, if it's not a thing, why is it not a thing? Because I would like to not have to have access to the buttons if I don't need them, ever. And only ever interact with it via the PC that it's going to be permanently inside this case. So, like, there's already going to be a PC that's running the stream, that's running the timing and everything. So if I can just add another USB coming from the HD0 to that PC, one, it simplifies updating, because then I'll just have to like turn this on at home when I have internet and update the thing over the USB connection that's already in it. And two, if I can control it over USB, then I can do some like automations and stuff, probably with either scripting or do it actually in the, even if it's another app or something that I have to run, like or even if it's just CLI, like if it was just a terminal like commands that I had to give it, that'd be fine too, because I can write scripts for it. So like channel scripts or whatever, like set all these channels, set these channels, set this channel, I would like the different channel configs that I would want to ever run. I could just make them as scripts, save them to the desktop, and then run them as needed, and then that solved all those problems. I don't have to like get super fancy with it. I don't know. Good ideas are happening. Still a lot of thought that needs to happen though too. Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it right now. There's not really much reason for me to continue working on this at the moment. I'll probably fuck with it again if I have time tomorrow. I'll fuck with it again tomorrow, but I don't know if I will or not. I've still got a lot of school shit to work on. So, all right, cool.